Hello and welcome back to another weekly update on Final Parsec. For those of you that are new here, I'm Bear, and this is a weekly update on building Final Parsec, a platform which is meant to empower indie and hobbyist game developers as they try to create and share their own games. So last week I set some pretty ambitious goals around trying to add more thoughtful art to our world building tool and to also make some enhancements to the chat assistant Dan Masters in our world building tool as well. And then I also set some goals to start to work on some feedback based features around the world builder, such as like a progression or spoiler based thing, and then some folder or hierarchical structure as well. And then I wanted to write a blog post too. I didn't accomplish quite as much as I set out to, and I'll talk about why, but let's get into what I did build this week. So what I have to show this week, it all centers around the world builder and it comes to art. So let's get into it. Right now, if you look at your profile page and you go to the section where worlds are displayed, you'll see now that a preview image is shown. And the same is true if you go to the world builder tool page itself. That'll show the same images on a slightly larger scale. And then you'll see too that if you don't have one, it'll give you like a placeholder that just shows you what a good size might be so that it shows up as expected. You can upload these pieces of art using the artboard feature on the world. So you can come in here and add an image, and the world will let you upload as many images as you want. And you'll see that those start to show up now on your profile page like that. And then they'll also show up on the world building page as well. I've also added some image support for a few of the different types of like entities that exist within your world. I haven't quite gotten to all of them yet, but if you take a look at some of these pages, you'll see now there's like an ethereal, cloudy placeholder image that I've put in place. So there's a unique one, again, with like a suggested size to upload. And the last one here is going to be over on the artifact page. So I've done this now for inhabitants, groups, and artifacts. You'll start to see a placeholder image that you can go and replace. And then once you start to upload those, which you can do through the settings page here, I've given them unique names to kind of guide the creator of the world or give them some suggestion of what type of art might make sense here for each thing. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's your world and you can do what you want. So, for instance, if I've got a rebel faction, they can have an emblem, and you'll see that that starts to show up in little previews throughout the app. And you can do the same for inhabitants. So we've still got this character I created in last week's video. You can create that, and you'll see that they start to have those images show up elsewhere. And then the last one that we support right now is for artifacts as well. So you can do the same thing. The functionality is basically the same, but I've given each of these just different names. So once you do that, you can start to see the world getting a bit more engaging and a bit more vibrant. So in progress, I still have to do this same thing and make like a placeholder image and add an uploader for locations and events as well. So that's something that's going to be coming probably very soon. That's really it to show this week as far as what's available for a demo. I'll float a screenshot probably to just show what's been happening with Dan, the chatbot assistant. Last week I spoke about trying to add a bit of like capability for automatically creating entities within the world. And so a little bit of work's been done there, but nothing that's made it out into production yet. So you may notice I haven't done nearly as much as I set out to do, and I think I made some comments on it throughout the video or throughout the demo. I've just had some personal struggles this week with being sick, where I've ended up with several days that I wasn't able to work. So this is really just the product of really like 1 to 2 days of me trying to get some stuff done. But I want to keep up my pace on videos and be honest with everybody that's following along, and be honest with myself too, and just recognize that it's okay to have slower weeks. and it's okay to not always meet all of the goals that you set out for yourself. I think it's just a little hard, given that my history of working in a normal job has always meant, well, there's a team of people that are going to pick up the slack, and you know, ultimately it wasn't my project and my success that had everything depending on me. So it's felt a little rough this week, but I think I'm basically back to normal now. I got sick on like Tuesday night, and it's Friday now, and I'm feeling back at it. But it's not been the best. So that said, let's talk about what's coming up next. It's basically going to be the same things that I mostly set out last week and that I mentioned a little earlier. I want to continue with this world art stuff and get it wrapped up. I feel like I'm super close. I just need to get the locations and events kind of having the same functionality as all the other objects in our world builder. And then I want to make sure that we can finish up the enhancements for the chatbot feature as well, and then start to get into some of those other features for the world builder, like a folder system or a hierarchical organization, and like a spoiler feature as well that kind of gates certain content until it's read in an appropriate order. It's kind of the same things that I want to keep working on. And as always, I'd encourage anybody that is watching along or has ideas about what they think this world builder could be, please leave comments. Your comments drive priorities for me and let me know what the most important thing to work on and to build is. So given that I've had a bit of a rough week, let's do a long-term goal check-in. I said that I wanted to have a video every week, and I think I'm doing that still, even though I contemplated not, because I haven't really made as much progress as I wanted to. But it's Friday, and that's the rule basically, or the plan is to make a video every week. So that's what I'm doing. My goal is also to get an article on our blog once a month, and I still need to do that and work on it. The topic I think is going to be related to world building. Renato in the comments on last video shared a great idea about helping those who don't know where to start and discussing some anti-patterns that come with getting into world building. I quite like this idea, and I think I'm going to run with it. So hopefully I can do that. As far as long-term goals go too, I also wanted to get a product out in November. I've got a week left, and I'm a little less confident about this. My goal was to kind of put in place a product related to the world builder that would be like an increased data storage or an increased number of queries that you could use with the chatbot, like the AI feature. I was also hoping to kind of round out and finish up some of these other features first. So I don't know how realistic it is that I'm going to do all those features and then also get a product that has some sort of rate limiting in place on top of that, and a blog post in a week. So I'm just going to do what I can. It's also a holiday week. We've got Thanksgiving here in the US this week, and so I'm sure that's going to take up some of my time as well. I'm just going to do what I can, and I imagine some of this stuff might roll into early December, but that's what happens sometimes. So I'm going to just keep rolling through these and do what I can to get them finished as quick as I can. I just want to thank everybody for your support and your comments as you follow along on my journey to help build this product. Last week's video got like a couple hundred views. It was one of the more popular videos, and it's early, like in the time of it being first published, which was really exciting. So hopefully I'm onto something here with the what I'm talking about or how I'm publishing it. But please keep liking, keep subscribing, and sharing your feedback in the comments. All of that is greatly appreciated, and it means a lot to me. I'll see you next week, where hopefully I've made some killer progress and not allowed Thanksgiving to distract me too much. Bye for now.